All right, so now I want to put that into my GitHub repository. I want to push it up to GitHub. And so I'm in my GitHub repository, or my GitHub account, and I'm going to click on New Repository. This is where I'm going to store my local project. So I'm going to click on New. And you can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it the same thing, Git for Fitness. That way I know that this is the same one that's on my machine. You can call it whatever you want. All right, and so then I'm going to verify if I want it to be visibly private or public. Remember that if you keep it private and you submit an assignment, I won't be able to see it because it's private. So if it's an assignment that you're giving to me, you'll want to make sure it's public. The rest of this we're going to leave alone because we've already done it. Once you create the README and we've initialized it here, we don't want to check anything else. So make sure everything else is left alone. We're going to not touch it. So then I'm going to click on Create Repository. And if I've done it correctly, then I get this screen that gives me more information about how I link these two together. And so I've already done a lot of these steps. It's just kind of prompting me for, these are the steps you need to have already done, which we did. We created a folder project, Git for Fitness, and we added a README file. This is just doing it in the command line instead of doing it in VS Code. It's doing the same thing. We've done a git init. We've done a git add. We used the period instead of the readme.md because we had more than just the README file. We committed. We didn't need to change the branch, and the reason being is we are on the main branch. Remember when we did git status, we decided that we're on the main. So as long as we're on the main there and we're on the main in here, we're good. If yours said master, on branch master, then you're going to want to do this command. So you have to pay attention. Some of the older versions of Git, or sometimes inadvertently, it still reverts back to an older time where we had the word master here instead of main. So if you have a status and yours says on branch main, you're good. If yours says on branch master, then you need to do this line. All right, this is how we connect our GitHub to our local repository. So I'm going to copy that code and I'm going to put it in my terminal. So I'm going to just paste it in and then I'm going to hit enter. Doesn't look like anything happened. How do I know that anything happened? Well, again, I can use a command and I'm going to say git remote, which doesn't give me a whole lot. It just gives me this word origin, which is what our computer is calling GitHub's. It's actually a shortcut for this whole word in GitHub. So instead of having to type all of this in, I can use the word origin again instead. So if you know what a variable is, it's a variable name for something longer. If you don't know what a variable is, it's just a shortcut name for something longer. So I have origin, which doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. I don't know that it works. So I'm going to do git remote -v, which stands for the word verbose, which simply means what does origin refer to? Origin is another word for this GitHub repository. And I can just double check, is this the GitHub repository I meant to link to? Git for Fitness, yes, that's the right one. So I know I've done that command correctly. All right, so then the next stage is we want to what's called push. Now this isn't an upload, it's a push. And the difference being upload, like in OneNote, would overwrite what already exists there. But we want to maintain all those versions of version control that we've been doing. So we're going to do git push -u origin main. Again, main refers to the branch name, which ideally is now main and not master, as I discussed a little earlier. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to put it into my terminal and I'm going to see some things spinning. So it looks like something happened. It says branch main set to track origin main. Okay, so if I come into my GitHub and I refresh the page, then I should see there's everything that I just created. There's my README file, which has my name and my Git first project. That's the purpose of a README, is to give a summary of what this repository is storing. I can see my README file in there. If I click on it, then I can actually see the code. I'm going to go back. Same with the index. I can see the current version of the code. That makes sense. And I'll also see up here, won't see it because it's not big enough on the screen, that there is one commit. So now I've successfully created my repo in GitHub and I've pushed my changes up to GitHub.